Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I want to showcase with you guys my 400% increased area of effect Juggernaut. Let's see how it does in map. Just a very quick spoiler. It has the Hinekora's Death Fury, which is the chieftain explosion. So even though we are a Juggernaut, we still have a chieftain explosion with 400% increased AOE. Right, let's go through the map, and then after I will explain how did I achieve this level of AOE. This is 100% delirious. I choose to do it on a mesa so it doesn't take too long. With the layout of the mesa, it cannot take too long, right? Alright, this is a pretty good spot for Wisp, I think. Alright. That is a bad event. Get back here. Right. We got that one. Wait, actually. Let's just stay here a little bit. As you can already see, the explosion is not too big. Alright, another event. This is not a good one. I think we don't have that much wisp from this one. Right, so here what do we have from here, right? I think this way we'll have one. Start to see some whips trail. This is the trail. Right, we got a third event. Not too bad. I take the scarabs. Right, so yeah, that is the whips that we have for this map. How much is this? This is 2, 3, 4, 4.5k wisp. Not too much. Let's try to mop up a little bit more. We do have some left over. Yeah, I think we... Oh, there's a little bit more over here. Does this guy here? Right, some more. Right. Okay, let's just go ahead. Oh, we already have a boss guy over here. I do have a vaal breach, but there might be a problem with the vaal breach because the cast time is very slow. Oh there is some kind of degen there, I'm not even sure, but this is like the second time I die from when I got this setup. First time is to Kosis, where I stay in the degen beam that he cast for too long, just to test out and see how much I can take. Here we do have two big boy, which should take quite some time to kill. So let's just move them along with us to more monster. Just go ahead, and this is the way I normally deal with tanky monster or bosses. Like this guy over here. Just dragged him to a bunch of other monsters so we can explode their ass. This is pretty good for the expedition. So I'll do expedition. I think I have the big boom node. Yeah, I do have the big boom node, so it should not take too much time. Alright, another triple wisp. This guy is a little bit tanky. Killed him. Let's go back and do a quick look. No, we don't have any of the immune to fire, so we don't need to worry. I just stay in the middle and yeah, that should happen. That is very satisfying. I just exploded the whole expedition, which is very nice. The AOE scaling on something the size of the chieftain explosion is just very nice. Just feels really satisfying once you get the big explosion. For example, what we just see. If the content is juiced enough, if the monsters are close enough together, we potentially can clear multiple screens away from where we stand, simply because of the chain reaction of Herald of Ash plus the chieftain explosion and the ignite proliferation from the chieftain explosion. As you can see, this build is pretty good for visual clarity. The vaal bridge is very helpful against Kosis, because when Kosis just stand and do that, right? So we have the time to cast a vaal bridge, and then we stay on the vaal bridge to kill Mr. Kosis. This guy is the Kosis with 3 afflicted wisp, so he is hella tanky. I already ran out of spaces for it. Okay, let's just throw out some bullshit. I don't think this one is gonna worth anything. Yes, this is a very terrible thing. Right, let's go ahead and kill this pact over here. So we have a vaal bridge, and then now we wait for Kosis to do that, and we cast the vaal bridge so we can explode his ass again. Will cry. Let me sure if I successfully will cry there, because even though we have immutable force, we can still get stunned, and it just a very minor stun can interrupt the casting. I forgot I cannot pick up anything else. Right. Let me just turn off the loot until the end of the map. Very good visual clarity. These explosions are the detonate dead, by the way. Very nice. As you can see, screen-wide explosions everywhere. Pretty juiced, pretty wisp. there are some degen that can still, you know, kill us. For example, we died in the beginning of this map. Normally we won't if we pay attention. We do have Lethe Shade, so the dot damage, it cannot like just very quickly kill us. We still have some time to react. Just get out of the spot. That is also why I use the Frost Blink, the normal Frost Blink there. Alright. Let's go ahead and bank the freaking Valdos. Those are pretty tanky boys. Let's get them here. See if we can have more explosions. You can see the tanky boys, they cannot hurt us. We have multiple layers of defense. Very good layers of defense. I think Juggernaut is still tankier than Chieftain. The reason that people are going for Chieftain is because of an explosion, which we can still have from the Forbidden Flesh and Flame Jewel. The other reason that people use Chieftain is because this kind of build started out as a Fulcrum build, and Chieftain have the other node that gives you unaffected by Ignite. You still can be Ignite, but you are just unaffected by it, so that helps with the Fulcrum playstyle. If we move away from the self-ignite playstyle, there is a lot more possibilities of cool stuff that we can do with this archetype, I guess. This cast when stunned, but thanks to the Chieftain Fulcrum, people started to, you know, mess around with the cast when stunned thing over here, and result in a lot of cool things. I enjoyed this character a lot, even though sometimes, not too rarely, even though quite a few times, I find myself just standing in one place waiting for the enemy to die, but that is not a big problem. Alright, we pop this so we can better deal with the boss. Right, he is a triple wisp oak, so probably it will take me some time to kill him. He's being a pussy. He is he's moving to the edge of the arena. Alright, let's I think dealing with this guy will take a lot of time. So basically this is the character. There will be cases where you just don't have enough damage to deal with this kind of situation. Even though, you know what? Let's just stay in the map, right? Let me turn down the volume so it doesn't bothers anyone while listening. Let's talk about the character. All right. So first of all, the character is a Juggernaut. You can see I have a bunch of armor here, 54k. I have a maximum 90% of physical reduction. I have some pretty good maximum resistance over here. Cap, Chaos Res, have Immutable Force, of course, to deal with stuns and still using cast when stunned. And I also have the Ignite, Chill, Freeze, and Shock Avoidance at over 100%. Thanks to the Flask, the Mage Blood, the Flask, and also this jewel over here, Storm Shroud. Right, so what makes this build different? First of all, we are a Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is a very tanky ascendancy. What I take is Unbreakable, which makes the armor applies to fire, cold, lightning resistant as well. Right, this is a very good defensive layer against elemental damage. because it's calculated on top of the normal resistant mitigation layer. We also have unflinching for extra power charge and ways to gain power charges, which, even though we are using raw cache boots, this is still helpful, and I will explain in the latest part of the video. The unyielding give AOE. We have 6% AOE per endurance charge here, and also some damage, increased damage. This node unrelenting gives some defensive stat, and the 8% reduced elemental damage taken while at maximum endurance charge is always applied, by the way, because we have Ralakesh, the Impatience boots. Right, so talking about the main point of this build, we have two main points. First of all, it's tankiness, and second of all, and most importantly, is the AoE. How am I able to achieve 400% AoE? So we have 6% per endurance charge here. We have 1, 2, 3 charms, and 1 that which was taken. So we have a total of 30% AoE per endurance charge. The total amount of endurance charge we are having on this build is 10. So right here, 10 out of 10 all the time. So we have 10 endurance charge, which is 300% increase AoE already. That, along with on this Jugg, I have 4% area per power charge, so that is an additional 12% because we have 3 power charge. We have 3 of the cluster jewel here. They all have the 3 same notable, that is widespread destruction and burning bright, so 14% area per cluster. Right, the third notable is always smoking remain, so these 2 will be at the beginning. So that is 14% times 3, which is 42%. So 312 plus 42 is 354. Right? Yeah, 354 area already. We have another 20 from these 2 nodes, so that is 374% increased area of effect. Right? We can still take more area of effect here, 10%, which puts us to 384. I have 12 on my implicit here, which is 300, and let's just remove this one. So this one is 386, and then 10% crafted on the glove over here, which is 396% increased area of effect, which is just 4% short of 400% increased area. Right, so the title is a little bit clickbait. I technically did not reach 400% increased area, but if I just remove some point from anywhere and put it into this, then it's no longer clickbait. It is a over 400% increased area. Alright, I don't think I can kill this guy. Let's just get out of the map. Let's just get out. I'll come back and clean it up later. Maybe put on a frost bomb or something, just so I can clean it. Right, so that is all the area of effect, which result in a very nice explosion. Given that what you see on the screen, I already am using concentrated effect all the time. So yeah, it is on my main link. So the passive tree, let's just go ahead and see the passive tree here. I go all the way from the start of the Marauder into the Leafy Shade, which is all the way over here. I take the pathing on the outside of the tree. The main purpose is for Leafy Shade, first of all, because it is a very nice defensive layer versus damage over time, which is a very dangerous thing for just many builds where you just randomly dice to a very strong damage over time that just almost instantly kill you, and you did not react in time. However, in this case we have Lethe Shade, so we are less vulnerable to that. Much more, you know, defensive against damage over time. But also this area have a lot of nice things that I want to take. First of all, this cluster written in blood is a very nice, because this is the only cluster that give a lot of life. It gives the basics 5% life per small point and 10% life on the big notable here. But we can still get the stun threshold energy shield mastery here, because this is considered a energy shield cluster, though we have the life, right? All the other energy shield mastery places that we can have, they're here or here, they are all just pure energy shield, which is useless in this case in my build. So yeah, I go all the way here. This is a very nice wheel to take. And then of course the instinct suppression notable here, the wheel here, to help me cap at 100% spell suppression. This is the only passive that I take for spell suppression. The other part was this with the Elegant Hubris, the change to 12% suppress, 14% suppress on 2 of my gear, my rare gear here, just resist and suppress. And then I have 10% suppress on each ring. This is quite hard to get, but you only need one, right? Because the other one you can just mirror by the Calandra's ring, which in my case actually I should have just mirrored this one, because it have movement speed, which is, I think, it's just feel better compared to like more armor. I have enough armor to tank everything, I think. So yeah, that is how I get maximum suppression, basically through this node, this, and here. And of course, last but not least, the quartz flask. This is 19% suppression with the mage blood, 100% uptime. Right, so we grab the endurance charges, the life on the way, the maximum resistance where we can, right, with the aura wheel here, along with one mana reservation efficiency implicit on the helmet, allow us to fit in all the reservation that we want, which is determination, petrified blood, herald ash, and fatalities on is reserved on HP, so for the mastery to work. We also go into here not only to grab the AOE, but the discipline and training is one of the best life node, especially for this build, because we are using the brass dome. The brass dome is a very nice defensive chest, which helps with a shitload of armor. First of all, a 5% to all maximum elemental resistance, which is very nice. And then last but not least, the take no extra damage from critical strike. This is a very huge thing to have. I also have a 6% reduced chest damage taken, which is very nice. But it has a drawback of strength, provide no bonuses to maximum life. We lose out on like 170-ish life, base life, flat life from strength. So from this body armor, if I remove this and do not use Supreme Ostentation, I probably have like 4.5k something, but I used it. So Supreme Ostentation is a very nice thing to go with this one, since we only care about the life from the attribute. Everything else is useless pretty much for this build. So Supreme Ostentation, go with this one, right? The other mastery I want to mention is the armor and energy shield mastery here, which 10% of armor applied to chaos damage taken from hits. We have a lot of armor, so it is a very nice one to take. Right, grab the life, grab this for the fire mastery of increased damage 100% with hits against ignited enemy. We are using a annihilating light for damage. It is limiting us to only hit damage, because the triple damage only works for hit. It doesn't work for damage over time, so we cannot do ignite. That is why I am using this set up with detonate death of chain reaction, life tap, so we spend life instead of mana, we cannot sustain mana. Awaken fire pen, cast when stunned, of course, concentrated effect, which is a huge more multiplier. And then the last one is awakened elemental focus. So this is the most amount of damage I have from the setup. Right, so we take this mastery. Here, this area, I have the impossible escape around Hex Master. So this is a very cheap one, very cheap area to do the supreme ostentation plus the impossible escape combo. Here I have 100% increased damage. Over here, per endurance charge, which is very nice, and 10% life. In general, very nice. Basically, that is what I get. This area I already explained, and of course, last but not least, we grab the Undertaker notes over here. This scale the base life of our corpses. They are a huge boost to our damage overall with the detonate death of chain reaction. Also, this is quite nice for Desecrate and Unearth, have 2 maximum number of courses allowed. It's a little bit of quality of life because the Desecrate that I am using along with Awaken Spell Cascade. So if you don't know the Desecrate, if you linked to the Awaken Spell Cascade, it basically casts like 5 Desecrate at the same time. Each have 3 corpses. So spawn 5 corpses? Jesus. So 3 is more than fucking enough. Holy. That is so overkill. For some reason I thought that this one only have 2 corpses. Let's just leave it in. So long story short, link it to Spell Cascade, the normal version. Do not waste money and get the Awakened Spell Cascade like me. But it will cast the maximum amount of courses every time it casts. With the Detonate Death of Chain Reaction, the more courses that you have, the smoother the damage uptime is, basically. So here we have 12 corpses on the ground, which is very nice. Why we always want to have as many corpses on the ground as possible, because the cast when stunned is not 100% trigger rate, but is 91%. So there is some time it can, you can low roll into not casting when stunned. That makes sense. Right, the last thing I want to mention in the skill tree is the elemental overload. Huge boost to damage. Right, the gear, annihilating light, triple damage staff. I used it for the most amount of damage I can get from Detonate Death. The body armor is already explained with the brass dome. The rings already explained. We need maximum endurance charge and then suppress spell damage per endurance charge. If you cannot have the same ring combo, the same combo in a precursor as I do right here, you don't have suppressed, you just go for +1 maximum endurance charge. In that case, you don't take the prevent 3% suppress spell damage. You instead take the chance to suppress spell damage is lucky, and then pretty much you have 100%. Right, the amulet is Defiance of Destiny. This protects you from being one shot, because every time you get hit, you will always recover the life equals to 42% in this case of missing unreserved life before getting hit. It has happened before getting hit, so you always have the life recovered before you getting a hit. That is a very extreme, very tanky thing to have. And then the Relic Cache, very self-explanatory, is one of the most broken item in the game currently. Expect to be nerfed, so I would recommend you to use the hell out of it this league, unless in the case of it getting nerfed, which probably is very high chance of getting nerfed. Mage Blood, also recommended you to have one of these because this is the best league to have a Mage Blood, at least so far. The Mage Blood, along with other tier 0 items, are very cheap compared to themselves from other leagues, because the money we make a lot more money, a lot more currency, while the drop and the Valdo's map of Mage Blood, they just there's just many more on the market, and the value of the money that we make compared to this item is very cheap. Currently 138 divine, very cheap. Right, the flash setup for Mage Blood for me is Quicksilver with cursed reduced effect of curses, so I'm effectively immune to curses. With chance to avoid being shocked, use with Storm Shroud, so I'm avoiding all the elements, or the elemental element. This one have just cover my resistance, so I have enough resistance on everything. And this one for suppression, and also the chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. Currently, as you can see here, I am putting on the default attack here, and my chance to ignite is 96%. So the explosion, the chieftain explosion, the main source of damage that I want to ignite, also have 96% a chance to ignite, which is good enough in my opinion. And the last flask, I am using a Bottle of Faith. You can use Progenesis to be even tankier, but I don't think that is very necessary. You can also use just any other flask, any other unique flask, or just normal flask that you like, but I personally like a little bit more damage, so I choose Bottle of Faith. Right, and that covers the item. I think the other thing that I want to mention about the items are the jewel. Let's go through them. So that which was taken, already go through it. The Forbidden Flesh and Flame for the Chieftain Explosion, 1 divine each, very cheap. Impossible Escape for this here, and of course the Elegant Hubris with Caspiro for Supreme Ostentation. Also the Blood Notch and Immutable Force combo over here. Last but not least, the Storm Shroud already mentioned, and last but not least, the Watcher's Eye. This one, the only thing that I would recommend you to have is the damage life while affected by vitality. This is the only thing that I want to have, is 1 divine. We don't really care about the other row. It doesn't, for example, in my case, it is helpful, but it's not necessary. Why do I want the leech? It is because of one of the charm mod that I want to use is you are unaffected by bleeding while leeching. So the vitality leech from Watcher's Eye is for all sources, no matter how little or how much damage you deal, it will always leech. So basically I am probably like most of the time immune to bleeding from this over here, from these 2 things, right? And I think that is it for the character. I will make sure that I have a POB ready in the description. I have not POB this character yet, but yeah, basically let's see how the HP and sorry, I had to take this because my throat is hurting too much. I am having a little bit of a problem with my throat. Yeah, I will make sure to leave a POB in the description of the video. And thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for staying with me until the end of the video at this point. I hope you like this content. I hope you think this is helpful to you. If you enjoy the showcase, or if you enjoy the style of this character and you want to follow, if you have any question, just ask me in the comment. And if you like the content, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It will help me greatly. And thanks again. See ya.